Hello friends and welcome to my channel Iballdesigningdeveloper. So imagine running your business, building apps, storing data all without buying a single server. That's the power of cloud computing and Microsoft Azure is leading the way. Azure is Microsoft's powerful cloud platform that lets you build, deploy and manage applications from anywhere using your favorite tools and frameworks. Whether you are a developer, IT professional or a student just starting out, Azure offers more than 200 services from AI and machine learning to storage, networking and beyond. So in this video, we will break down Azure in simple terms, what it is, why it matters and how you can start using it. So I hope you will be enjoying this amazing video in which we will be learning that what is Microsoft Azure. So if you understand this amazing video and if you enjoy this tutorial, so remember to hit a like, and if you're new on this channel, want to see more videos like this, so remember to subscribe, and after subscribing hit notification bell so you can get the notifications of all my videos which I will be uploading in future. So now what we are waiting for, let's move to computer screen and let's get dive into it. Alright, so now we're on the computer screen, and like I've told you in the start that today in this video I will be telling you that what is Microsoft Azure, how you can use it. But in the coming up videos I will be explaining you that basically how Microsoft Azure works. But before understanding that, we need to understand what is Microsoft Azure and normally why we use it. So if we talk about Microsoft Azure, so it was designed by Microsoft in 2010. Microsoft Azure is one of the widely used cloud computing platforms, and Azure provides a wide variety of services such as cloud storage, compute services, network services, cognitive services, databases, analytics, and IoT. It makes building, deploying, and managing applications very easy. All the Microsoft Azure fundamentals are also described for a better understanding of the readers. So normally if we talk about Microsoft Azure, so it was designed by Microsoft in 2010, and Microsoft Azure is one of the widely used cloud computing platform. And I hope that you know what is cloud computing. If you don't know that what is cloud computing, how we can start with it. So in this tutorial series I will be explaining you from start that what is cloud computing, how you can use Microsoft Azure, which is a platform where you can just host websites, where you can host apps, where you can store your data, because Microsoft Azure is used for that, and you need to pay for storing all data and for deploying apps and all that using Microsoft Azure. And we will be understanding practically as well that how we can use Microsoft Azure. But before that, we need to understand what it is and how we use it. So for that, in this video I'm just explaining you that what is Microsoft Azure in words. So Microsoft Azure also provides a variety of services, and as I've told you, variety of services which are as cloud storage, compute services. If you want to use all these services, so for that you can use Microsoft Azure. And including this Microsoft Azure, there are some other cloud platforms as well which you can use. Like one of them is Microsoft Azure, then you can use AWS as well, which is you can say certified from Amazon. And then there are some other platforms as well which you can use to host anything you want to, or if you have created and you want to deploy that, so you can do that using Microsoft Azure or some other cloud platforms. So now it is saying me what is Azure. If you want to understand what is Azure, so you can just read this paragraph which is saying Azure is Microsoft's cloud platform, just like Google has its Google Cloud and Amazon has its Amazon Web Services or AWS. Generally it's a platform through which we can use Microsoft resources. For example, to set up a huge server, we will require a huge investment, effort, physical space and so on. In such situations, Microsoft Azure comes to our rescue. It will provide us with virtual machines, fast processing of data, analytical and monitoring tools and so on to make our work simpler. The pricing of Azure is also simpler and more cost effective, popularly termed as pay as you go, which means how much you use, pay only for that. So that's really amazing thing about Microsoft Azure. It is just explaining me that Azure is Microsoft's cloud platform, just like Google has its own cloud platform which is called as Google Cloud, and Amazon also has its own platform where they store their data, where they deploy their apps, where they deploy their products, their websites, all that they do that using Microsoft Google platform, which is doing by Microsoft, but Amazon do that all things using Amazon Web Services or AWS. And what is AWS? AWS is another type of cloud platform where Amazon stores their data, and they also deploy the apps. You can also purchase AWS, Google Cloud, and these are some other platforms which you can use. But for explaining what is Azure, you need to understand that these are also some platforms which you can use to deploy your apps and to you can say host anything, and if you want to store any data, so you can purchase these all Google platforms, or you can say cloud platforms. And in these cloud platforms, these are the three most common cloud platforms which programmer use or a cloud computing software use. So these are the three which you need to understand, the cloud platforms which we are talking about. First is Microsoft Azure, second is Google Cloud, and third is AWS, which is called as Amazon Web Services as well. So these are the three cloud platforms which is being used by a cloud engineer if we want to store data or host anything using it. But we will be understanding about Microsoft Azure in this whole tutorial series because we will be working on this platform, but you can use some other platforms as well if you want to know that how we can use some other platforms, or if you have already used Microsoft Azure. So in place of that, you can use some other platforms as well. We will be also working practically that how we can use these platforms, but as I told you that we will be working on Microsoft Azure, so that's the reason I'm just explaining you that how you can use Microsoft Azure and what is a cloud computing service, in which there are many other cloud computing platforms which you can use to store data, to host your apps or anything like that. And also it is a platform, Azure is also a platform which you can use through Microsoft resources. Like if you want to use Microsoft resources, so for that also you can use Azure, which normally does not have in other cloud computing services. Like if you want to use a cloud computing platform which also has Microsoft resources, so for that you can use Microsoft Azure. If you use Google Cloud or any other cloud platform like AWS, so they will not have Microsoft resources in that. But if you want to use a cloud platform which has Microsoft resources as well, so for that you can use Microsoft Azure as it is mentioned here. And for example, if you want to set up a huge server, if you want to store data, if you want to host anything, and if you want to do that using huge server, so you will require a huge investment, and you will also require huge effort, physical space and all that, and for that you need to do much more investment. And if you want to do that in low efficient cost, in low effective cost, so for that you can use cloud computing platforms. As I have mentioned, there are three cloud computing platforms which you can use, but I will prefer you to use Microsoft Azure, which also have all the Microsoft resources which you can use with that. So that's a plus point here, and you can also save your money using cloud computing platforms as I have mentioned. And then if you want to like use virtual machines, and if you want to have fast processing of data, analytical and monitoring tools, you can get that as well using this Microsoft Azure, which is a cloud computing platform. And if you want to make your work simpler, not so much you can say having so much effort in your work by yourself, and if you want to make your work simpler, so for that as well you can use Microsoft Azure. And the pricing of Azure is also really simpler and more cost effective, and popularly it termed as pay as you go, as here it's mentioned, and it means how much you use, pay only for that. Like if I'm using 8 GB of data in my Microsoft Azure platform, so I will be only paying for that data which I am using. I will be not paying for whole you can say a cloud platform which I have purchased. I will be only paying for that data which I am using, or for that website, or for that app which I have hosted. I don't need to pay for whole Microsoft Azure platform which I have purchased, and that is also a really good thing which you will be getting in Microsoft Azure, but not in any other cloud platforms like Google Cloud or AWS, which is being certified by Amazon. So I hope you understand that how we can use Microsoft Azure, how we use Microsoft Cloud Platform, which is Microsoft Azure, and what is Microsoft Azure, how it was designed, and like who designed Microsoft Azure. It was designed by Microsoft in 2010, because obviously it is Microsoft Azure, so it was designed by Microsoft. So I hope you understand this video in which we have understood that what is Microsoft Azure, how we can use it, and basically what's the purpose to use it. So still, if you're having some problems, if you're having some confusions about Microsoft Azure, that how it works, how we use it, anything like that, you can just ask me in the comment section. But in the coming up videos, I will be explaining you more things about Microsoft Azure, that how it works, what are the services which you can use in Microsoft Azure but not in any other cloud platform, why it is different from other cloud platforms, all that things in the coming up videos. So I hope you enjoyed this amazing video, and if you enjoy this tutorial in which we have understood that what is Microsoft Azure, so remember to hit a like to this amazing tutorial. And if you're new on this channel, want to see more videos like this, so remember to subscribe, and after subscribing, hit notification bell as well, so you can get the notifications of all my videos which I will be uploading in future. So just I will meeting you next tutorial or in next project using Microsoft Azure or any other language. So for today, goodbye.